It's not just here in the United States. In Germany, a new military service law took effect in January of this year. Mandatory questionnaires, compulsory medical exams, and for men aged 17 to 45, foreign travel now requires approval from the Bundeswehr. In France, there's a new 10-month voluntary program starting this summer. In Poland, the target is for 100,000 participants per year. In Croatia, mandatory service has been reinstated. The United Kingdom is studying the issue, and in Russia, new legislation is clearing the way for criminal record enlistment, and the Kremlin is preparing the legal ground for a broader draft. And here at home, automatic selective service registration becomes effective this December. Yes, the drums are beating, not just in Washington, D.C., in Berlin, in Warsaw, in Paris, in Zagreb, in London, and in Moscow. This is the pattern peace racket exists to name. It does not require a single cause. It does not require a single villain. The observable fact is that the polities of the North Atlantic and their adversaries are structurally preparing for something they have not yet fully committed to do. A note before I go further, I've spent over 3 decades in advertising. I know how persuasion works because I helped design it for a living. President Eisenhower, in his 1961 farewell address, named the military-industrial complex a structural pattern of mutual incentives that outlast any single decision. Well, there is a parallel complex he did not name. Call it the language and persuasion complex. Advertising, marketing, public relations, the trade I spent my career in. It too has structural incentives. And one of those incentives is to blur distinctions in ways that serve the parties commissioning the blur. Watch for the blur. Watch specifically for language that implies selective service registration is the same thing as being enrolled in a draft. It is not. Registration is being placed on a list. Induction is being called to serve. A list is not a call. No living American has been called to serve without a specific vote of Congress since 1973. If you hear language that suggests otherwise, intentional or not, that is the blur. Notice it, name it, do not accept it. Preparation is not authorization. Registration is not induction. Modeling is not mobilization. The distinction matters. For every young person about to be automatically registered in December, so you are not being drafted. You are being placed on a list. A list is not a call. The list existed before in a slower form. Men were expected to register at 18. What has changed is the mechanism, not the principle. Registration is administrative. Induction is constitutional. And the constitutional step still requires a vote of Congress. In the United States, an actual draft still requires Congress to pass a law. The Military Selective Service Act says so. National emergency powers do not change that. The president cannot activate induction alone. And in every European country I just named, an actual draft still runs through the parliamentary chamber that citizens elect. Volume 1. Chapter 28 of Peace Racket, the book. The framers built friction into the power over war on purpose. Congress must authorize, citizens must be informed. 5 breaks, declared wars, the authorization for the use of military force sunsets. War taxes, the draft question, procurement reform. The framers wrote these into the document because they knew the momentum toward war has its own logic. That logic is running now. The brakes are what stops it. The brakes are only what stops it if citizens exercise them. So notice, read, contact your representative, show up when the vote happens. One note, briefly for the youngest viewers. Some of you may be turning over an old plan in your mind, the Escape to Canada plan. That plan was possible in a different technological era. The Canada of 2026 is not the Canada that received Vietnam draft resistors. Border databases are shared in real time. Biometric identity follows everyone. Immigration policy has tightened on both sides. And a U.S. federal draft evasion charge does not disappear at a border it used to. That path, whatever its moral history, is not practically available today. If your objection to serving is one of conscience, there is a path within the system, the tradition of conscientious objection. Quakers, Mennonites, Muhammad Ali, public, legal, costly sometimes, but honorable and constitutionally protected. The path that is not available is flight without accountability. That door has closed. The response the framework calls for is participation, not exile. And notice when the vote is not yet scheduled. The most powerful moment for a citizen's voice is not when a draft bill is on the House floor. It is now, before any bill is introduced, before any hearing is scheduled, before the momentum builds that makes the vote feel inevitable. If a draft bill ever reaches the president's desk, it will most likely be signed. This is not a prediction about any specific occupant. It is a structural observation. Every president who wants war-making capacity has reason to preserve the draft option. The checkpoint that matters, the point where citizens still have voice, is upstream of that signature. It is in the House, it is in the Senate, and it is now. Every young person about to be automatically registered in December is a family that has a stake. Every family that has a stake is a citizen who can make a call. And every citizen who makes a call is one turn of the brake the framers wrote for exactly this moment. Outside the process, there is no leverage, there is only running. Inside the process, there is the friction the framers wrote, and the citizen who exercises it. Peace Racket. Volume 1 is available now. Volume 2 is being written. PeaceRacket.com.